Hello and namaste, you are watching 7 Star 4K television and I am your host for today, Dikpal Karki, and this is 7 Star Special. Today I have very special honorary guest from all the way to nation of Hawaii. He is Puhonua Dennis Keiki Kanahele. He is the president of independent and sovereign nation state of Hawaii. Let's welcome him on our show. Welcome, sir.
Hi, aloha, aloha. I'm really glad to be here in Nepal, my first time, and what a wonderful country you have.
Thank you. And how is Nepal treating you?
Nepal and HE Puro has been very, very gracious, and we appreciate everything that they've done. And so far we haven't really gone out, but where we've gone to, even like little walking in the streets a little, I feel comfortable.
Okay. This is your first visit to Nepal.
Yes.
So what is the main purpose of your visit to Nepal this time?
Our main purpose is to open up peace and friendship relations. It's very important because of our history, you know. When you look at our history and actually see the documentation and stuff, you realize that, you know, the Hawaiian people has been through a lot of turmoil, a lot of bad history, and that was in regards to the presence of the United States.
Okay, so I just want to know, what is the nation of Hawaii exactly? How do you describe nation of Hawaii?
I think you would describe the nation of Hawaii as a country run by the elders, run by family, more family oriented than constitutions of the world, which is so like politically, you know, made up. And the nation of Hawaii's constitution was a lot of involvement by the elders. So I had over 400 elders in convention from different islands that represented us, you know, all the islands, and their children, their grandchildren, great-grandchildren. So that is who the nation of Hawaii is. We've built the nation upon that value. You know, we're a highly organized, self-sufficient, subsistent social system of peoples at one time.
Okay.
I think it's, and with a sophisticated language, culture, and religion. And I think that crosses all the boards of different types of religions and all of that. Because we were one with the Creator, same like most cultures, you know.
So how is the economic status of Hawaii itself?
Well, Hawaii is going through probably the same and maybe even worse economic downturn because of the pandemic and then the war between Ukraine and Russia. So the war continues, and the U.S. citizens, which we're a part of, continue to pay taxes that fund that part of what's going on in the world. And Hawaii plays a pivotal part in how that war goes too, because of our status. Up until 1993, we were part of America. After 1993, America admitted to the overthrow of our queen and the kingdom. And you know, I was talking to Prasanna about the different types of treaties that we had with different countries, you know, over 20, 30 countries in the world. And guess what the number one article was? Perpetual peace and constant friendship. It's in every treaty that we had with, you know, Britain, France, America. America violated 5 treaties, peace, friendship. And so this is who Hawaii is, a whole bunch of history, a whole bunch of turmoil that wasn't because of us guys trying to protect something. It was because we had so much aloha. We didn't know they were going to take things. They were going to change our minds and how we think, change our religion, you know, the different faiths, you know. So it's Hawaii has a long history. And so again, prior to 1778, you know, like in the law, you know, we Prior to 1778, we were a highly organized, self-sufficient, subsistence social system. We had things down. Man and land was one, like every place else in the world. And then after Europeans came to Hawaii, then the change started, you know. Leadership, everything started to change. Religion started to be a big a problem because it separated our cultural beliefs and our, you know, what they term in the first whereas clause is that we had a sophisticated language, culture, and religion. So what does that mean? If somebody says, well, these Hawaiian people lived in a highly organized, self-sufficient, subsistence social system, right, based on communal land tenure with a sophisticated language, culture, and religion. And so that is what we stand on to protect and to hold as our base.
I came to know one term, Kanaka Maoli. Is that like native Hawaiians or?
Well, Kanaka Maoli is a native Hawaiian. And Kanaka Maoli actually is Kanaka Hawaii Maoli.
Oh, Kanaka Hawaii.
Yes, Hawaii Maoli. Yeah, it identifies. See, a Kanaka Maoli is the original people, but not Kanaka Hawaii makes the original people of Hawaii. So you know, everybody has that too. They can be called Kanaka Nepalese, you know, Maoli. That would be a person from Nepal. Same thing. So we had to relearn all these things because the colonization on our culture was so bad that, you know, it really segregated and separated our people. And to add to that, it separated us from the land, right? Because now they were in control of how things were on the land. They could set up their own fictitious government. They could do all these things. And so today you have the 58th state in what was a country before.
Yeah.
We're here to educate people as to what happened to us, to our history. We have U.S. Public Law 103-150 was a law that was created back in 1993. So when I say that the 58th state was the 58th state until 1993, that's what I meant. The U.S. public law was signed into law by President Clinton, and I was on a Sovereignty Advisory Commission for the state of Hawaii. So I was a government official. And I headed the International Law Committee in this 21-member commission. My job was to find ways other than being under the state, federal government, or city. And so I went into the international arena. So I had the opportunity of bringing in an international attorney from Champaign, Illinois, University of Illinois. His name is Francis Anthony Boyle. And we invited him in 1993 to give his opinion on the apology law. And he said, you know, when I read the public law for the first time, it realized and dawned on me that now that the United States has finally admitted to their part of the overthrow of the Hawaiian people, the Hawaiian people can now proclaim the restoration of their independence. We were a codified country. We're not indigenous. No way. It's not us. If anything, we're aboriginal according to the law.
Even though in Google search, I find it as one of the state of America. Still, I found.
Oh yeah, you're gonna find that, but how often do you find reality come on? America is not America in Washington or in the continent America is not the same as the America that is in Hawaii that sends representatives to America to voice to voice the concerns of the community. 2 senators and 2 House of Representatives in Hawaii. So that is the problem. The communication is they will not step aside to even entertain talking about independence. And we changed all that when we did and created the nation of Hawaii. It became a force that now America gotta reckon with that. And I'm not talking about America U.S. I'm talking about America in Hawaii, because all the states have representatives to the United States Congress, right? But they're not. They go to Congress and they say, well, the Hawaiian people want Indian reservation status, American Indian reservation status, and so that's not going to happen. We're in the way, you know. And so the first thing was, okay, we better get out there in the international arena and share this story with everybody.
How is the relationship of the Hawaiian people and USA, like with the mutual relationship between the people from Hawaii and from United States of America?
Well, you know, the United States has a uncanny way of attracting people to their country, right? And I think it's gotten to where the colonization of our people going tend to sway to the colonizer side. And so, but in the last maybe 10, 15 years, everybody's waking up. Wow, America did this to us. You know, the younger generation, like your generation, coming up saying, Uncle, I never knew this, right? This happened 30 years ago. You know, so our idea as a nation now, since we created the nation of Hawaii back in '95, is to economically and politically take over Hawaii. And so we go out, we open up international relations, we have people interested in investing in Hawaii, bringing their businesses in Hawaii, and so that started for a long time now. And we're starting to break headway. But I think most important is the economic development side, I think is easier to talk story about than the political side. In our case, we're probably the only people in the world can hold the United States of America accountable for what they did to us. And so our thoughts are, well, let's take over the political system in Hawaii. Let's take over the state of Hawaii. How we do that? I'll put any of our representatives in office, vote them in as governor. Internal. And so those are some of the discussions and the topics of discussion that we're talking about. Because we want win-win. We want this to be totally in aloha. It has to be. If we try to bring the message of peace and friendship and world peace for everybody, then that's something we truly are responsible to do. That's how kuleana, Hawaiians call that your responsibility now. And so 30 years ago, myself, I was given the responsibility as the president and head of state of the nation to get our country back and get it back in a peaceful, nonviolent way and show the world that it can be. We're dealing with the biggest country in the world, at least the biggest troublemaker in the world. And we want to correct that, but in a good, peaceful manner.
So you are in Nepal. What kind of relationship you want to see between Nepal and Hawaii?
That's why we're here to find out.
Yeah.
You know,
what scope you can see, like?
Well, you know, we haven't really gone around. We have our honorary consul here, Mr. Puro, and so far he's arranged everything. He's made everything really possible for this to happen. But we're interested in the people. We want to see, things. We want to see how that can work. We have our thoughts on how we want to work with Nepal, but I want to hear from them.
Okay.
Right.
So you are still.
Yeah. So it's peace and friendship, right? You're gonna love me when this is over. You know that. I mean, not the other kind of love, but aloha.
Okay, so Hawaii has different language, right? English is not the language of Hawaii?
Well, the language was banned until 1962, the Hawaiian language. Totally colonized, cut us off. Then we learned, fought back, brought it back as our language in Hawaii now.
Okay.
So it's just time, again, everything was suppressed. when you're being colonized, and Nepal knows that, India knows that, everybody knows what colonization means in different ways, right? So for Hawaii, yeah, there was like, you know, they started to really hunker down on our cultures, our cultural arts and crafts, and way back. So they destroyed a lot of things, you know, even the ways on how we catch fish and stuff. So it was a plan by the colonizers, State of Hawaii and the U.S., in changing our culture so that we would have to buy fish from the store, and we couldn't go in the water to go catch our own fish, right? We had to do all these things. We had to buy vegetables from the store. You know, we had to do that, the switch. But nobody knew that America did this to us, you know. Nobody really followed up. And as time goes along, the generation that knows, they pass on. You're left with people like me telling the same story 30 years later, right? We want to change that. The world needs change. And Hawaii is going to make that change.
So I heard like you were chanting something before we started the interview. Is that the part of Hawaiian culture or something?
Oh yeah, yes, deeply in our Hawaiian culture. Well, that was called ehomai.
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 And ehomai, we usually say this before we enter any type of interview, talk story, or business. You know, that when we get every meeting we have, we do ehomai. And that is because we think like this. Ehomai goes, now I'm right over here doing an interview with Seven Star. See?
Yeah.
Ehomai.
So, new generation of Hawaiians, or you can say, yeah, Hawaiian, right? Hawaiian. Are they interested, as you are interested, to restore your culture, tradition, or something like that? Or they are okay with?
No, it's the resurgence of our culture, the language, the dance, the arts, is totally reversed now.
Okay.
30 years ago, 40 years ago, I had to get an elder that was very popular to translate. Today we have thousands of them that can translate the language, Hawaiian language. So can you imagine this? In our archives, all the information on the overthrow is in Hawaiian, not English. So for that long, until our children could translate the Hawaiian language, that's how they got away. We did not know our history until we started to translate our own language. And they kind of lied to us. So the generations today are very anti. And but anti in a good way. They're doing different things to like protest, peaceful protests and stuff, you know. No weapons, none of that. It's just signs that going out there, voice your opinion, to, you know, effect change.
So I want to know about the Declaration of Independence Economy of Nation of Hawaii Central Bank.
Politically, at least we kind of talked about the nation of Hawaii, how it was created. Economically, the one thing we knew, and I did this like 30 years ago too, we started to develop a bank under federal government. And it was undermined by federal government representatives. They didn't want Hawaiians to have their own bank. That's 30 years ago. So now as the nation of Hawaii, I think it was 2015, I created an act, an executive order to create a monetary system with digital currency, I think that was 2015. We've just took on a very influential and wealthy partner. And so it's not like we're going around and we have backing now. We have backing that can help countries, you know. And so we're going to fix our country first, then everybody else that we touch base with, see how we can use these resources. Like Asia cannot go to America and deal with American Indians. They don't know each other. The Hawaiians came here so that we can connect Asia with American Indians. They have just as much resources. They have food resources. They have all these things. They have casinos, right? They own that stuff. But it's a colonial way. To have a casino, it still leaves you under the jurisdiction of the United States of America. So the American Indians want trade. They want commerce too. And I belong to the biggest International Indian Treaty Council, non-governmental organization in the world. And they've been in existence since 1974. So again, don't forget that name, International Indian Treaty Council. Worldwide, they're worldwide. So we've been part of that for 30 years. And it's those types of relationships that we've built. And there was one big part, but the last administration that I had, a lot of them passed away. So it was also another thing that I realized that we got to find younger leaders, younger generations that are interested in what's going on. See, we never go past anybody not knowing about the apology bill, the apology law, because that is the legal foundation we stand on. We wouldn't come here talk about business or peace and friendship if this law wasn't set in place. This holds America accountable now, right? So we want to, getting back to economic development, that Bank Act that I created initiated things like the Aloha coin, the Hawaii dollar.
Okay, I was about to ask about the currency, about Hawaii currency. Do we have different currency?
Well, now it's digital, right? So, and yeah, see, it's different. So we got to look at the approach now, because we have old ideas about how we seen banking 5 years ago. Yeah. Today is different. You got CDC, you got, the digital currency is the biggest thing. That's what America and Asia is having a hard time with, BRICS and SWIFT, right? That's two different types of financial exchanges, right? So economic development, one catch, that our citizens, our people would be shareholders of that bank. Shareholders. So that in our minds, when we talked about this and when we created all of this, it was, what if our people had a share in a bank? And what if that bank was prosperous? No, what if the bank was prosperous? Then the residuals that come out of that could help each individual citizen, no matter, And I think that should happen all over the world, because what else people going to make money off? But imagine if every little people that has nothing could have something like that, and could depend on getting something once a month, some little $100 check or something like that. It start to restructure the economic balance. And so economic development is one of the biggest things we're interested in. Not just central banking, we're interested in transportation, energy, communications, agriculture, the food, so that we can improve the social conditions, your health, your housing, your education, your employment, elderly, handicapped, right? We're building a country, not a business. Business easier to build after you have a country. At least our country is going to be that way. Very business oriented.
So coming back to Nepal, how long you will be staying in Nepal?
I think till the 9th or 10th.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll try to get as much.
So your further plannings regarding travel, you are traveling to, after Nepal, where are you traveling?
To China.
China.
Yeah, we're going to be traveling in China, I think for about a week to open up relations. We have people we got to meet too. And so, first we opened up in Malaysia. Our Ambassador Wong from Malaysia set up everything. Within the year, we have done a lot of things. We've traveled to Spain, Malaysia, and back and forth to Americas. And then, of course, now we came to India, coming through Nepal.
And then China.
So there's a lot of things that may be in conflict in just discussion, because there's things that we do in Hawaii that might not apply to Nepal, and things done in Nepal might not apply to. But we'll find a way. Our honorary consul, Mr. Puro, is talking about tourism. Yeah, why not have tourists from Nepal and tourists from Hawaii come and interact that way? I think that's possible. This is why, getting back to the state of Hawaii, who is part of the United States of America, this is why we have to take over the governorship, the senators, House of Representatives. Then we can do a lot of different things the right way.
So we are at the end, almost at the end of the show. So is there anything you want to say to our audience? Then you can.
We come with aloha. Antipilahi Paki always said that, the world gonna look to Hawaii for the key to world peace. And that key is aloha. And I want the people in Nepal and in the world, the rest of the world, to know that we come in aloha. And that has plenty energy and plenty aloha behind it. I think the world needs it today. World peace is, according to my elders, is going to happen. It's coming. As close as war is coming, or we're in war, there's always a good side running alongside with that part, trying to advocate that side of it with aloha. So aloha, mahalo, mahalo nui is thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, mahalo Lu for coming to my show.
Oh, yes. Okay. You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm really glad to have you on our show.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Aloha.
Thank you. Okay, we are at the end of today's episode of 7 Star Special. I had a guest, very honorary guest from Nation of Hawaii. He is president of independent and sovereign nation state of Hawaii, Mr. Puhu Wanwa Dennis Keiki Kanahele. So I want to say bye-bye for today. See you next time. Namaste.